from the Timber TV studios, this is Timber Talk. Here is Brady Goldman and Sawyer Regan.
Hello and welcome back to Timber Talk. I'm Brady Goldman.
And I'm Sawyer Regan.
We had lots of action across our 8 different teams last week, but we need to talk about the dominant week from the baseball team. After defeating Falmouth 1-0, Walpole was set to host their rival Milton at home on Wednesday, and this game ended up being an instant classic. Senior captain Landon Lipsitz on the mound for Walpole in his first outing of the season. He had lots of work through 4 gutsy innings. We're going to jump to the top of the second with the bases loaded for the Wildcats and a 1-0 lead after a walk. Ben Doty comes to the plate and for Milton and rips this ball into center field. 2 runs come in for Milton and then they get up 3-0. Then a 4th comes in with the next batter as a force out puts another run on the board for Milton, which would later balloon their lead to 5. However, the comeback for Walpole starts in the bottom of the 6th, now having obtained a run off a wild pitch. Luca DiGiulio, fresh off his no-hitter, comes in at DH and hits a slow roller down the third baseline that makes it 5-2. Then the 2 batters later, senior Cole Blakely hits this into the infield, and the shortstop throws it away and allows another run to score, making it 5-3. Now things are getting interesting with Milton becoming a little bit nervous, and with 2 outs and the bases loaded, junior Aiden Hoyle comes through with a base hit into the infield, making it 4-5. Now all of a sudden a 5-0 lead has gone to 5-4. Then Shane Harrington, still with the bases loaded, shoots this into deep center field. 1 run scores, 2 runs scores, then a throwing error by Milton causes a 3rd to come across home plate, giving Walpole a 7-5 lead after being down 5-0 in the earlier parts of the inning. Then we go to the top of the 7th, and despite Milton putting up 2 more runs, Matt Lencioni is able to get the win for Walpole, winning a close one, 8-7 against the Wildcats. This win put Walpole at a respectable 2-0 with 2 more games to be played in the week. A great comeback for Walpole. Then the next day, Walpole again took care of business. They trounced Bay State Conference powerhouse Braintree 9-3, highlighted by Jack English hitting an absolute tank to dead center field for a 2-run homer in the top of the 2nd. Matt Lencioni, who recorded the save against Milton, pitched a complete game, accumulating 7 strikeouts and only 3 earned runs. Then finally, Walpole beat Framingham 10-0 Friday afternoon, with Luca DiGiulio throwing his 2nd straight no-hitter on just 64 pitches. It puts Walpole at 4-0 after a very, very hectic week. Walpole will have 2 more games this week, battling 2-2 Needham at home on Monday, then traveling to Weymouth on Wednesday to take on the 1-2 Wildcats.
Switching to softball, they had their first game of the season on Tuesday when they hosted the Womps. Let's get it started in the bottom of the 2nd, and captain Sienna Cruiser, following a triple from Caitlin Baker, hits a sacrifice fly to right field, bringing home Baker to give Walpole their first run of the season. But the Womps would quickly respond against Caitlin Baker starting the opener, and Kate Bosco, with runners on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out, laces this to deep left field over the head of left fielder Kara Coyne and brings in 2 runs, making it 2-1 Womp. Then another single for the Womps would make it 3-1. We go to the bottom of the 3rd as catcher Abby Riley knocks this one into deep left field, driving in 1 run, and then goes the distance for an inside the park home run, knotting this game up at 3. But then, in the top of the 6th, a wild play commences as the ball goes through the infield, causing 1 run to score. Then Riley attempts to throw the runner out at 2nd, but misses completely, causing the 2nd to score, making it 6-3 Braintree. That score would hold up for Braintree, snapping their 9-game losing streak to the Timberwolves, and Walpole loses on opening day for the first time in 3 years. Fortunately, Walpole got on track as they beat Milton 11-2 and then destroyed Framingham 8-1, highlighted by 6 runs in the 3rd. Walpole is now 2-1 and will play Needham and Weymouth this week.
Now over to lacrosse, the boys had 1 game this week against Framingham and continued their dominance. They beat the Flyers 18-2 with dominant scoring for Walpole and have now started the season 4-0 for the 3rd straight year. After a light week, the intensity will turn up as they play Fian, Weymouth, and Wellesley all this week.
Switching to the girls team, much like their male counterparts, have got off to a dominant start with huge wins over Framingham and Needham. They will battle Weymouth and Wellesley this week. Boys tennis finally, after what felt like delay after delay, had a very tough week with 4 matches. They traveled to Braintree and had a decisive 4-1 victory over the Womps, highlighted by Brady over here having a tough 2-hour match that went to a super breaker, eventually winning 10-4 in the tiebreaker. Then, the next day, their game against Natick was rained out for a second straight day, meaning they'd have 3 games in 3 days on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They started their gauntlet against Milton and beat them for their first 5-0 win of the year. Then the next day, they played their twice-delayed game against Natick. Despite the Redhawks having a doorstep for Walpole in these last couple of years, this year they put up a pretty good fight, knocking off both of the 2 first singles for Walpole. There were 2 games that went to a third set, but Walpole prevailed, highlighted by the first varsity game from sophomore Jack Stalcup, and escaped Natick with a 3-2 victory. Finally, they played their arch rival Framingham at home on Friday with a chance for 4 wins in 5 days. Stephen Jung lost his singles match 3-6, 2-6, but third singles Dylan Blackear and both doubles teams eked out victories. Brady over here played another 2-hour match with the whole team watching. Despite winning his first set 7-5, his opponent beat him after Brady staved off 10 set points in the second 6-4. And sadly lost in the tiebreak 10-5. Still, Walpole went 3-2 with a perfect week. Walpole's schedule does not slow down this week as they play Needham on Monday, Weymouth on Wednesday, and CM on Friday.
Switching to the girls, they sadly did not have the same start as the boys. Their game against Braintree on Monday saw some positives, with Eleni Margetis winning the first singles, but everyone else lost in the end and lost 1-4 to the Womps. They then got shut out both against Natick and Milton and have started the season 0-3 yet again. It's a tough start for first-year coach Leo Ringler, who is also known for winning a playoff game for the 2021 boys tennis team. The girls will try to grab their first win this week when they play Needham, Weymouth, and Framingham.
The boys track team began their quest for a three-peat last Wednesday at Newton North in a quad meet. They beat Wellesley and Weymouth while losing to Newton North, a very strong team. Strong performances came from Luke Zahurik, who got second in the mile with a time of 4:26, coming very close to his PR, as well as Jake Stenstrom, who threw 157 feet in the javelin, earning first place in his first time competing in the event. Looking ahead this week, they have senior night this Wednesday against Needham and Brookline. And that's going to do it for us this week. I'm Sawyer Regan.
And I'm Brady Goldman.
With April vacation on the horizon, we will be back in 2 weeks for more scores and stories of the spring season.